I'm just grooving to the song. I'm just grooving. That's it. It's a groovy kind of day for me. I'm just grooving. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your reality thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am actually drinking Coca-Cola very early in the morning. I don't know why. It's way too early to be drinking Coca-Cola, but it's what's here and this is what I'm drinking. So there we go. I'll be up for a good portion of the day, so that's great. That's great.
I was gonna say that's very unlike you, but
it is very unlike me this early in the morning to do that. But it was here. It was I probably could have had orange juice. I just didn't go to the refrigerator. I just grabbed what I saw first, and it was Coca-Cola. But it's okay because I'm not home, as you can see. It's a change of scenery. I'm not here at my house. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it out of my cup mug. I'm showing a picture because I'm not home and I don't have said cup mug. But I want you, the viewers, to get said cup mug or any of our official cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically in the US. So there are no excuses. And I will say, Taylor,
I don't have my cup mug. I know I said last week I was gonna get it. I lied to you all, but here's the issue, y'all. Prezi Joe made me pay my student loans this week. So I also had to pay some on my mortgage. So there was a lot of money that went out of the bank account. And I will be getting my cup mug. I have it in the cart.
It's there.
It's there. It's gonna be happening soon. Probably tomorrow or really today. I mean, it's like $8. I can afford it.
But look, y'all hear it. It's $8. It's cheap.
It's a cheap mug. You can get the mug. This was a week where I probably spent a lot of money on bills. So we were trying to wait, but I deserve the shade today. I will take the shade today. And hopefully next week, if Lana has put it in the mail, I will have my cup mug. I'm just drinking coffee. Typical, I wish it was bourbon, but it's not.
I mean, it's a little early for bourbon, I think. So I'm glad you're just drinking coffee.
I already worked out. Like, I can go crazy now.
Well, do you, boo? Get you some bourbon. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I think we're having this kind of day. It's gonna be a fun one, y'all. So before we jump into the episode of House of Villains, episode 8, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Hit those buttons, all the things to say you support us, because we appreciate your support. We want to build up this channel like we build up our main channel, because we want to get there too. So subscribe to this channel. And if you are a fan of all things drag, we pretty much have that on our main channel at the Cup Pod. So you can go over there and subscribe to that channel as well. And if you're a fan of Eurovision, you can go to our newest channel, the Cup ESC, and they discuss all things Eurovision Song Contest. So go over there, check it out. On all of these channels, we probably put out videos almost every single day. So there is a lot of content going out. So we appreciate you checking us out. And I'll remind you at the end of this video, because I know you're sticking around because you want to hear all about House of Villains. Because, baby,
it was good.
It was a doozy. It was a good one. And I was like, all right. It's what I expected when I saw what happened last week. I was like, oh.
It is and it isn't. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it's. I don't want to say too much. I'm gonna shut the hell up.
Let's get into it so we can talk about it. So, as we know, last week we left off as Bobby Lights is the supervillain. Johnny Fairplay gave him this role of supervillain, and we're like, okay, we'll see what happens. And Bobby agreed to Fairplay that he will let him pick the hit list, and he will go with Johnny's hit list. Well, we all found out very quickly that Johnny did not go with Fairplay's hit list. He decided to make up his very own hit list, and he decided to put Shake, Johnny Bananas, and yes, that says Bobby Lights himself. The supervillain is now on the hit list, and yeah, I'm still blown away by that.
Yeah, it was wild. He comes out of this nomination ceremony. The note I have is fan him off. He's hot, hot, hot. Because Bobby has a lot to say. He has a lot of shade to throw around. He is, he is on. And he has got some shit to talk. It's really entertaining. I don't know that I was like feeling this move from a strategic standpoint,
Yeah,
but like, I love the confidence with which Bobby sold this very bad move.
Me too. Me too. It was like he insisted that he was so confident. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the one to take them out. I'm going to be the one to make sure that one of them goes home. He was very confident. Love the confidence. Hate the move. I was like, that's not it. Strategically, the game player in me was like, no, never nominate yourself. Never nominate yourself. Like, you don't ever want to do that. But
or if you're gonna nominate yourself, go to the people that you're keeping safe and say, hey, these people are pressuring me to put you up. Yes. I'm gonna put myself up to keep you. You know what I mean? Like, try and lock their votes in before you put yourself at risk. Don't surprise. Like, I didn't understand this.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like the right move to make on any count. But Bobby Light did it, and he was like, I'm confident that I will be the one to get one of them out of this house. That's what's gonna happen. I'm a win redemption challenge, and they go both be up, so one of them gotta go. And so he comes out the dag. I saw the name and I was like, oh, I know it's, but I call it the lair. I'm gonna keep calling it the lair. They come out the lair and Bobby is hot. He is like going off on people like, y'all call yourselves villains. I'm here to play this game. Y'all are not villains. I'm sick of y'all playing like y'all scared. I'm gonna play to win. He was going off. And I was like, all right, Bobby. Sure. If you say so.
There's kind of like an interesting comparison that's happening too, because Bobby comes out heated. Mm-hmm. Fairplay is also pretty upset, but Fairplay's frustration is kept a little bit more muted, I think. Mm-hmm. He's definitely frustrated that he didn't get the nominations that he was told he was going to get, but it seems like he's channeling that energy more into his DR or into the conversations he's having with like the other people. Can you do me a huge favor? Oh, he got his AirPods in. No more coffee for me.
Well, at least he bought you breakfast.
I know. I'm not going to eat it on camera, though, y'all. Don't worry. It's going to sit here and get cold.
We are a mess today. And it's fine because it's fine. I'll let y'all know now. We'll probably have background noise from me. Children might run in and out. It's just going to be a mess of a podcast, but in a very fun way. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. But yeah, Fairplay I think Johnny Bananas put it best when he did his comparison to what Fairplay's game is. And later in the episode, Johnny was like, Fairplay, some people come out and they have this bravado about them and they just they like, this is what I'm doing. And the Fairplay is he's kind of inverted, but he wants people to feel bad for him. He wants
Yep.
people to feel sorry for him. So he's kind of like, he turns into a mopey. I didn't want this
He's a
to
bit of a
happen.
victim. Like, I
Yeah,
hate using that word in this way, but I get
yeah,
that vibe where it's like,
yeah, kind
oh,
of like,
woe is me.
I didn't know this was gonna happen. I'm so
I couldn't
sorry.
win. Oh, why didn't I
Oh, why
win?
did I win? Right. He wants you to feel bad that he didn't win, or he wants you to feel bad that he didn't get his
Believed
way. Or
someone he shouldn't
he,
have believed.
right. And
You
after
know,
even after everybody was like, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. And you were like, I'm gonna listen to it. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, I can't believe he didn't do it. Like, what? Everybody's telling you don't listen to that. But all right. All right. It's weird. But so we go to, everybody's like, it is what it is.
yeah.
Just
The
suck it
biggest
up.
reactions are definitely Fair Play and Bobby.
Yeah.
Shake and Johnny both, despite being nominated, I think kind of saw this coming. So it's
A
like,
mile away.
yeah, they're not given much here. And nor should they. They need, anytime you get nominated, I think if you can keep it chill, keep it chill.
Absolutely, because the worst thing you want to do is blow up and flip out, and you don't even know if you go win the redemption challenge or not, or what the challenge might entail. Because, like, if the challenge is somebody somebody can help you out, you don't want to blow up on a whole house where nobody wants to help you. Like, we've seen that challenge where,
or like Bobby just did, puts himself up, convinces himself he's going to win, and kind of goes off on people a bit.
Right. So next day we go to we get some conversation. Before we get to that, because I really want to talk about Shake, because Shake is Shake confuses me to no end. I'm so confused by Shake, because this man, you nominated, you need votes, but you constantly go around telling folks, well, not folks, the women, to shut up. I don't need to talk to you. Shut up. Like, and you see who he only do that to. He only does that to Anfisa. He does not talk to Omarosa or Tanisha that way.
But he does come to Omarosa kind of trying to get her vote, I think, before the redemption challenge. And she's just like, look, if it's you and Johnny, I'm voting you out. Like, I'd rather lose to Johnny than you, is basically what she says. And there's one point in her DR where she goes, I wouldn't believe Shake if his tongue came notarized.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh man, Shake, like, you have so little social game that, like, people would rather keep a 7-time champ in the challenge in the game over you.
Yeah, over you. And I'm like, and Feast was like, I'm actually trying to hear him out and see what, if it's a good plan for me to keep him. But I was like, yeah, Shake, first of all, I see you. First of all, talking to only the women in the house like that, and not even all the women in the house like that, because you know better. You know better. So you only talk to Anfisa and Corinne that way.
Yeah.
Because, if you would have talked to Tanisha or Omarosa or New York that way, you would have got your handed to you.
They would have wonder if they're, I shouldn't speculate, but part of me wonders, I'm like, is there just this like thing he does where he just like internally diminishes and belittles any woman that's sexually attractive or sexual to him? Because
he don't think he can get them.
I don't know what it is, but it's giving misogyny.
It's giving a whole lot of misogyny, and then it's giving scared misogyny too, because you only pick with the like you said, the ones you're attracted to, those little waif-able women who you feel are demure or should be demure. Like, Anfisa hasn't done anything to him.
Nothing.
You voted for her. Like, you tried to get her out of the house before she was coming for you. And the only reason she came for you is because you came for her. But now she's listening and trying to play the game, because we said last week, Anfisa finally woke up a little bit and is trying to play the game.
Yeah.
And it's making sense. And she's like, I'm trying to. And he not only tells her to shut up once, but twice in the same conversation. I'm like,
it's ugly.
You're disgusting. Like, I really want Shake to go. Like, in for my personal standing, I want Shake to go. As far as the game, he can stay because the people Shake is aligned with is the people I'm rooting for. So I'm kind of like,
same. I don't think anyone would be surprised to know I'm rooting for for Johnny and Tanisha right now. So
period.
like I want Shake to stay.
Just for that reason, and then they can get him out when they don't need him anymore. But my two favorites are Tanisha and Johnny at this point. So I'm just like, oh, Shake, I guess you could stay. I guess. I guess. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I hate it. It's just like that one person. You just like.
So was this before? So before the redemption challenge, is this when Fair Play also kind of starts to talk about wanting to fix things with Johnny and Shake potentially?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's interesting. So I was like, oh, it looks like there's starting to be a bit of a heel turn for him. But from my perspective, I know Johnny had kind of made it seem like they really needed to make Fair Play feel like he could recover. Mm-hmm. And I think Johnny does a little bit better a job of that than Shake
does. Most definitely.
But both of them are giving him some shit,
yeah.
It's clear he's trying to like turn, and I don't think either one of those boys was giving him a lot of room.
I think it was more of Johnny was kind of like, I want you to know, I see you, what you did.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you some crap, but I'm gonna let you know I'm not that bad about it. I'm just letting you know that this was gonna happen, and you knew it was gonna happen because we told you it was gonna happen, and now you're trying to act like you didn't know it was gonna happen.
Whereas Shake is more just like, here's some crap.
Yeah. Shake's whole thing is now I want you to feel guilty enough to vote for me. Yeah. That's what I want you to feel guilty enough to keep me in this house, regardless of, because Shake knew. I think Shake knew if he goes up against Johnny, if Johnny and him are the final two, he was done.
He's done.
Dunzo didn't have a chance. The only chance he had is to go against Bobby.
Yeah.
And he was just like, if this happens, I need Johnny to feel so guilty for putting me in this situation in the first place that he votes for me and not Bobby. Because in their mind, him and Bobby still have that Fair Play, and Bobby still had that roommate connection thingy going on. And he's like, I just got to get into him early. So he's starting early, trying to get Johnny to feel so guilty for even putting him in this situation. And it's like,
credit for beginning the campaign a little bit early. Some negative points though for the way it was done, but that's kind of how I expect Shake to. It's like Shake could, from an objective, it's like, oh yeah, Shake, you should be doing that. You just shouldn't do it that way.
You shouldn't talk to Anfisa that way. You shouldn't talk to Anfisa that way. You shouldn't tell her to shut up twice when she was trying to hear you out. But you shouldn't do that. But good on you.
You're doing something. You're just doing it wrong.
Exactly. You're doing it, but doing it so wrong. So wrong. That's like me. Hey, Taylor, by the way, thanks for not nominating me, but I demand your vote because you said you had my back. So I expect you to have my back. Like, yeah, great for coming at somebody to say, hey, could you get my support? But instead of saying, hey, could you vote for me? I would really appreciate it because, I have your back. You have my back. And we do that. We work this thing out. I'm no ill will towards anything that happened in the past. I mean, I feel like I've had this whole conversation with you, Taylor, before in a game that we played. I was like, I know you were part of the team that nominated me the first week, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad. We talk. It's good. Let's have some support. We got you. I got you. We got each other. And guess what? We wrote it off to the end because what you do.
No, I put Lana up week 1 in my very first game, and I came to her and I was like, look, I'm sorry. I will never do that again. Let's, I think like when you approach conversations in a way that is not very aggressive, that like is kind of looking to see what the other person is feeling and then respond to that feeling. Like if the focus is on the other person, you're going to have a more productive conversation. If the focus is on how you're feeling about the situation, the other person is not going to feel heard and the conversation is going to go to shit. And I think Shake shows us that time and time and time again.
Oh my God, it was just so bad. It was so bad. I was watching this and I was like, this is the worst campaigning I've ever seen. Like, this is so bad. He just doesn't have a clue. But one thing he does have that he needed was Johnny Banana's support.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that was saving Shake in this matter. He had Johnny's support, and Bananas could sway a couple people. He got some pull in this house, and that's what you needed. So
Bananas is good. Like Bananas, you want someone like Bananas in your corner.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because he will charm people when he needs to. He will threaten people lightly when he needs to, because he's never going to come out and be like, I'm coming for you. He's like, if this happens,
I would come for you if this goes wrong.
If this goes wrong, I'll probably go have to do what I got to do.
And then when it goes wrong, don't worry, it's not completely your fault, but I did tell you.
Right, and then he go confession like, oh, I'm setting them up. I got a long game. I guess this is for the long game. I'm setting them up. I'm gonna make them feel like we all one big happy family. But the second I get a chance, you're going up. It's like this is what I like about Johnny Bananas. This is the Johnny Bananas that I like more than sometimes Johnny Bananas on the challenge, because I feel like sometimes on the challenge he has too much power, too many friendships and too much power, and he could just run shot.
He doesn't have to play as flexibly as he's doing here.
Exactly. Because he came into this not knowing these people, not knowing how they play, not ever having to play with them. And so we get to see the Johnny of the first few challenges that he did. It's like the challenge where he has to, okay, I got to smooth this person. I got to work this person. I got to work. Like, I would love, I used to say I didn't, but I'm changing my whole mind. I want Johnny Bananas on Big Brother. I want Johnny Bananas on a Big Brother. I don't, if it's Celebrity Big Brother or regular season, I just want him on there because I feel like he would do so well navigate. And I want to see him. I want to watch the live feed so I can watch him navigate.
You could do
the house.
Really great, like an Icons of Reality TV Big Brother, and bring in like some heavy hitting challenge players, some heavy hitting Survivor players, some heavy hitting like players from the circle. Like you could build like a small cast of, and I think that would be really interesting to watch. Because I would love to see Bananas play Big Brother or Celebrity Big Brother, but I think he sweeps Celebrity Big Brother because the celebrities they get don't know what they're doing.
Right. I need him to be in a house that people who know.
Yes.
Like, I agree with you. I think if you did a reality circle of people and put them in Big Brother, like it could be all reality stars in Big Brother who never played Big Brother, or who has played Big Brother, who want to come back and do it, and make it a regular season. Give them the 80 something days, make it a regular season, and let them come in and do it. And I think it'll be so good.
Can you imagine, like, okay, if we brought in, this is so off topic, but like Bananas and Veronica from the challenge, you could do, I wouldn't want to do, Tony and let's say Parvati, or Tony and Michelle from Survivor, you know, like give us like a couple like players, like, what was the deaf girl's name in season 5 of The Circle? I loved her, but like a couple big players from The Circle, like build out a cast of like 16. I think it could be so good.
I think it would be so, because like I enjoyed watching Suri this past season on Big Brother in the live feed, because we got to we never get to see how she navigates through, like in Survivor we see the edited version, and we see the edited version, and even on the trailers we saw the edited version, but to watch it live, the live feeds, and watch
unedited, the full 3-hour conversation. It was so good.
It was a master class. It was just like she went from running the house to being at the bottom of the house to going back and positioning herself in such a good spot. Nobody wanted to put her. It was was a masterclass. Even when her own son was her ops in the house, because he was the ops, he was taking her like slowly but surely trying to take her out of his house. I was like, you are the ops because you are just ruining everything. You're ruining this whole thing. But it was so good to see how she maneuvered everything. It was like a masterclass. I was like, this is why she is one of the greatest people in reality TV to have never won Survivor, but to come on and flawlessly kill traitors, flawlessly kill traitors, and then get on Big Brother and get to Final 5.
Incredible.
Insanity.
There's no reason she should be at Final 5.
No, I walk in the house and see Cirie Fields. She got to go first. And I love Cirie Fields.
I'm not playing with Cirie Fields.
I'm not playing with Cirie Fields because even if I'm on Cirie Fields' side and she likes me and she wants to work with me,
she's going to have other options. Cirie Fields would be like Stephanie was with us, right? Where it's like, you were my number one and I would self-evict before you went, but you will have 5 people that feel that way.
Exactly. And I'm like, what do you mean? How was I not the number one? Because I felt like I was her number one. And I'm like, oh, come to find out, no, I was not her number one. Probably wasn't even the number 2. Maybe I was 3.
It's painful.
It's very painful to watch that and find out afterwards. But I'm like, but it's okay because I won. So that softened the blow. But it's like, absolutely. Okay, I can see being number 2 to Taylor. That makes sense, I guess. Wait, I wasn't number 1. Wait, Max? Wait, Phoenix? Wait, all these people were before me? So, like, whoa. Oh, that hurt. That hurt for a second. I was like, geez, ouch. I thought, because I was rolling. I'm like, I'm ride or die with you, girl. You to the very bitter end. But it's okay. It's okay. She's my girl. I still love her with all of my heart and soul. Hey,
Stephanie, you're not watching, but we both love you.
We both love you so much. Look, I'll clip this and send that to her. But yeah, it was so good. I'm
gonna get us back into the episode.
Yeah,
I feel
back
like
to
we
the
digressed
episode
a little bit.
We did.
And my next point has literally no larger significance. It was just a funny moment that I took note of. So we're gonna get in the car to go to the redemption challenge.
Yes.
And people are gonna talk whatever. The best moment of the car ride there was without a doubt when Shake needs to sneeze and he sneezes out the front passenger window. And Omarosa is convinced that the sneeze has blown back into the car and gotten on her. And she is so upset about it. She has been sneezed on. This man has no social game and he's just going to spit on me.
Look, as someone who will lose their minds if somebody sneezes on me or a little spittle gets on me, I'm like, no. But hold on. And so I understood Omarosa. Now the question is, did Shake really spit on Omarosa? Because I mean, like I said, I'm somebody who I agree, like, no, don't spit on me. I will freak out if somebody spit on me. But he did sneeze out the window. And Omarosa swears he spit on. Did he really?
So all I'm gonna say is he tried not to. Mm-hmm. And Omarosa is wearing a cast right now that makes me a little disinclined to believe her when she complains about things.
Yeah. I mean, she's still saying that she got hit with a tambourine that we saw. Video footage never happened. But sure.
We need a close-up of this sneeze. You know, I don't think production knew how important this sneeze was, but we really needed to see where each droplet of spittle landed.
Did it come from out the window back to the back? I mean, we've seen people say don't spit in the wind because it can come back.
But I don't think the back window was open.
No, it was not. So I don't think so. But Who knows? We will
Great
never
moment.
know. We will never know. But yeah, we also see in that moment Tanisha talking to Bobby and was like, I can't believe you put yourself up. And he was like, I did what I had to do. And she was like, I see, I understand, If you can't, if you want to get something done right, you gotta do it yourself. And he was like, that's right.
She's kind of hyping him up here,
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
which
uh-huh.
I'm like, hey, like, you should hype people up often, but no, Tanisha, this move was dumb.
It was, but you don't want to tell him that. It is what it is. He was like, I did that for you. No, you did it for you, but that was dumb. But go off, sis. I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna be like, yep, do it yourself. Cause I appreciate the confidence in you, Bobby. I appreciate the confidence.
I
That's
do
all
think
I'm
that
saying.
would have been a great moment though for Bobby to be like, hey, I did it because I wanted to keep you safe.
Exactly.
Keep underlining that.
That is what, because you have to secure your votes. And in any game, people are going to be putting out the pros and the cons, what advantages it have, is because you have to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. If I lose this redemption challenge, how do I secure the votes and make sure that the people, I have 3 votes or at least 4 votes locked down for me? What was it? He needed 4. Yeah, I need 4 votes locked down for me. So
He only
who
needed
can I
3.
get?
This was a vote of 5.
Oh yeah, so he only needed 3. So he was like, so the girls are 3. You take that opportunity to underline for them every single moment that you can. Like, I did this for you to keep you safe.
Yeah.
I did this to keep you safe. Da da da. When other people are talking to you, I understand that they go campaign or whatever, but just know I did this to keep you safe because I didn't want to put you on there. I didn't want to put you through this. I did to keep you safe. Constantly remind them. So if you have moments where Tanisha might be floating, waffling, trying to decide what's best for her game, because honestly, keeping Bobby and having Bobby in the house could or could not be good for her game. Like, she has options, and that is what you have to make sure you talk to people so those who have options could see
feel like you're the better one.
You're the better one. And I think that's the only place I felt like Bobby kind of didn't do the best at. Like, because he was so angry all the time and mad about, or trying to be the villain. I won't say he was angry. He was just trying
he
to
didn't
be
give
the villain.
angry, but he gave
No.
there was like a performativeness to
Yes.
how on he was, right? Where he's like,
Yes.
I'm the villain. I got to take you off. And it was like, you don't need to be doing all of that.
You don't. But in this, it was great for TV. I'll say that.
Great TV.
So I appreciate it for the TV of it all. But for his game standpoint, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to. But so we get to a comedy club, the Ha Ha Club, and they're like, oh, we're doing the comedy. Okay. In what capacity are we doing comedy? So I'm like, are they going to have to do a stand-up routine?
Oh,
or...
I was hoping not. I was dreading.
I was too. I was like, please don't let me do because I cannot sit there through 5 minutes.
Doing stand-up? Hell no.
Absolutely not. It was ridiculous. Like, no, I couldn't do it.
It's not, thankfully.
It's not, thank God. But it's more like a Jackbox game of what.
It's like Quiplash.
Quiplash, yes.
Yeah, they basically are playing glorified Quiplash, where everyone gets a photo rather than a prompt. You get a photo,
yes,
and you have to come up with a caption, the funniest caption. So right away, looking at this in my head, I'm thinking, "Oh, Bobby is golden. He's so funny. You can tell he cares about his social media presence in a way that Shake clearly does not.
Absolutely not."
And also, I think Bobby is typically funnier than Bananas.
Yeah.
So going in, I think, Bobby's most likely to win this. Johnny has a chance. Shake is fucked.
Right. Exactly. That was literally my whole thing. I was like, oh, Bobby could really, truly pull this off in the best way possible. But we go in there, and so it's pictures of the castmates doing things.
Yeah, pictures of the cast. It's like pictures from the show we've seen so far. They're kind of poking fun at themselves.
And it was funny, actually. Honestly, I thought some of these captions were really funny. Some of them I was like, womp womp. But
Yeah.
some of them were, were actually really funny. Um, and it was much closer than we thought.
Yeah. So
Much closer.
Johnny takes off to an early lead. He wins the
True.
first 2 rounds.
Yep.
And you can tell this gets under Bobby's skin right away. Bobby is
Immediately.
like, the hell? Y'all think Johnny is funnier than me? This is not right. Y'all don't have any humor.
Right.
But Bobby does kind of come back from behind, and I think he
Yes.
wins
The
the
next
next
two.
2.
Yep.
So we get to a 2-2 tie, and then somehow
All of a sudden,
Shake gets 2.
But the one Shake put out, I was like, okay, I laughed at that too. That was kind
They
of
were
funny.
a little funny.
I was like, okay.
Shake does have a funny bone. He has a funny bone.
It's in there. You got to dig deep to get it, but it's in there. It's in there.
And he might tell you to shut up while you're digging.
He'll make a joke and he'll be like, shut up. Don't laugh at that. I'm like, oh, but it wasn't a joke for me to laugh at? No, okay. Yeah, Shake is weird that way. But
okay, no, you're not doing that in here. Yeah, you can leave the room now.
We love a good dog barking in the middle of the podcast.
I don't know what he's barking at. The room is empty.
Who knows? Who cares? Look, y'all know. We have dogs, we have children, we have stuff happening in our lives. So there we go. And we're not editing this out either. We're just gonna keep it.
You're gonna get a little barking.
You're getting a little barking. It's okay. It's all right. So we do have like I said, Shake is a little bit of funny. I laughed at his 2 jokes. I think the ones that won, I laughed at them, the ones that won. So we end up with a 2-2-2 tie. And it comes down to the last one. And it comes down to the last one. And Johnny Bananas
pulls it out.
Wins. I was like, okay.
Look, I'm rooting for Bananas. So, like, I loved this result. I was so nervous about Bananas being on that block after a redemption challenge.
Yes.
But what I think the thing that made me the most excited about this, and I felt this way about other comps, is I think you're seeing really good comp design when the comp is this close, because everybody has a chance to win. And it really did feel like it all came. I mean, it did. It all came down to that last one. And I mean, this was just, it was great. It was so much fun.
It was great. I enjoyed it. I was like, yes, period, work. I was happy because, like I said, I too am rooting for Johnny Bananas. Never thought I'd say that. But I was rooting for Johnny Bananas to win this. And because I wanted to see what it was going to be if Bobby was still on the chopping block. Because I'm like, this person has just been super villain. How, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you're still on the house, now you have to campaign for your life in this game that you didn't have to.
And his campaign is going to start off rough, because even before they leave that comedy club, he starts yelling. I don't know if yelling is the right word, but kind of telling people off for not picking his captions and not thinking he's funny. He makes fun of Bananas' fashion sense. I think I have 2 quotes. All you bitches were laughing at the wrong jokes, and take your ass and your Target outfit back into the truck. I mean, like, Bobby is pissed.
Bobby was like just yelling out stuff, random things, calling people Matilda Simpson or Bart. He was whatever he said.
He pulls a cigarette from Bananas and eats it.
Eats it and then throws it on the ground and steps on it. I was like, what?
Oh,
it's so funny. And he calls some random name and he gets back in the car. I was like, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know what I Bobby just go out on a tangent and just like you like
Bobby, we on the Cut Pod, we love you.
We love you here, Bobby, because I love the randomness that is Bobby Lights. Like I will if I get a Bobby Lights interview on the Cup, I will just dream. I will scream a scream that I've never screamed before. Period. Because I want to just let Bobby go off on random tangents and be like, "Yep, yep." Like it was so good. It was so good. I love it. I love it. Look, maybe I need to put on a campaign, start a campaign to get Bobby Lights on the cup. Like Bobby Lights comes on the cup, please, and thank you. I'll post a video every day begging Bobby Lights to come on the cup, and hopefully he'll see it. I don't
Oh,
know.
he'd be a great
It's
interview.
it's so fun,
And I
but
mean, this really is such an interesting elimination too, because where we're at in the game, who goes home here can really affect the dynamics of power.
yes,
And there was no reason with Bobby being supervillain for this to be a pivotal vote. He could have
mm-mm.
just put up two people on the other side. He gets to retain power. But now he's put the game on this like inflection point where whoever goes, one side gets power if Bobby goes, one side gets power if Shake goes. It's a really
Yep.
interesting position.
And we see that dynamic start to take place when they get back from the redemption challenge and everybody's talking, and Tanisha and Johnny Bananas are talking, and they're like, "Look," Tanisha's like, "I told y'all what we should have done. We should have never trusted fair play at the beginning, but we did. And now y'all want to trust fair play again because fair play is like, I want to show y'all that I want to work with y'all." Because fair play had the epiphany, like, this
I can't trust
dynamic is
Bobby.
shifting, and I
Well,
can't. And he feels like the power is shifting. He's like,
mm-hmm.
if I go with the side of Omarosa and Anfisa, are they going to be able to actually get the power to
Keep me
defend
safe.
me and keep me safe? I don't think so. I think the power will shift to Bananas, Shake, and or Bananas and Tanisha. And so I would rather, roll with them than roll with this side. So he's like, fair play. I'm coming to y'all with the olive branch. Here,
Yeah.
please accept my olive branch. I want to work with y'all. I will show you. I will vote out Bobby. I will vote out Bobby.
He actually, I didn't expect this. Coming into the episode, I expected Anfisa Omarosa obviously would vote to keep Bobby. And then in my head, Tanisha and whichever one of the boys came off the block would obviously vote to keep whoever stayed on the block, with fair play as the swing vote. But the way fair play approaches this vote, you can tell he is so frustrated with Bobby. He's basically already on Bananas' side. You know, he's on. Really, what's interesting is that Tanisha, I think because she's played such a great social game, she becomes more of the swing vote, where she's like, I have a really great relationship with Bobby. And so even though I kind of see Bob, like, I think she's trying to decide if, yeah, Bobby's more on that side of the house than not, but he could be an option for me. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the way she talks about this vote. And I was surprised and really excited to see that.
Yeah, because I think Tanisha was like, the personal relationship that I have with Bobby is really good. I have fun with Bobby. We kiki, we get along, we have a good time. I think Bobby will have my back over Johnny and Shake for sure.
Yeah.
But will he have my back over Anfisa and Omarosa? That I'm not so sure. And that's where the conundrum comes in for Tanisha. She's like, do I play with my heart, who's saying, yes, Bobby is somebody who I like, he's a friend who I never thought I'd have and I appreciate and I want to continue this friendship? Or do I go with the side who is going to work with me more? Because she feels like Bobby will work with her, but as soon as he gets a chance, he gonna slit her throat. And I'm like, oh,
and I don't think she's wrong. I do think Bobby probably slits her throat at 5 or 4. But I don't know. Tanisha is the one I'm really rooting for more than anybody. So I like that she is so well positioned here. I think it really does speak to, she's done a good job of maintaining relationships on the other side of the house. Less so with Omarosa. It's pretty clear she's just doesn't fuck with Omarosa. Right. But I do think she's done a good job of keeping cordial with both Bobby and Anfisa.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this this morning when I watched the episode. We don't know what the final is going to play out. Like, we don't know if these people are going to come back and be a part of who wins this game, which
It
it
could
could
just be a
be.
competition.
It could be just be a competition. It could be a vote of their peers. And I feel like Tanisha sent people out feeling good about her.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike some people who didn't. Like Corinne came, he met at Tanisha. Tanisha was on the block with her, so she couldn't vote.
Yeah.
Jax was actually a fan of Tanisha, and Tanisha voted for him to stay. So I feel like anybody going out, Tanisha makes them feel. I think like, and I don't even think New York is really that mad at Tanisha. I mean, if she comes back and she's up against Omarosa, oh, Tanisha won. Like, you know what I mean?
I
Or
think
even if she's up against Bananas, she wins.
the only person I think Tanisha probably loses against for New York's vote would have been Corinne, but Corinne's gone.
Yeah, Corinne's gone. So I'm like, so if they come back, if they have a say in the final, I think she did a good job of positioning herself to where people aren't going out of the house with a sour taste in their mouth about her. But who knows what this final format is? So if she gets to that end, it'll be interesting to see. If it's just a competition and whoever wins the competition is, wins, then she needs to get Johnny and Bananas out their house quick fast. Shake and Bananas out their house quick fast in a hurry, and probably work with Fair Play because he maybe or maybe not win, or keep Anfisa because she maybe or maybe not win. Or Omarosa.
Side question: is this the episode where Fair Play calls Johnny's body goals?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That did happen. He was like, I think Shake asked him, "Are you having a pre-workout protein shake this morning?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean Johnny does it every morning before he works out. Body goals, I was like, Johnny is body goals? Sure. I guess if you look like Fair Play,
yeah,
Johnny could be body goals for you." I'm like, okay, work. I mean, not saying Johnny Bananas he doesn't have a good body. He has a very perfectly.
He's fit.
He's fit for a middle-aged man.
Yes.
He's perfectly fit for a middle-aged man. So I'm like, okay, cool, work, Johnny. So maybe his body goes for that. Sure.
To Fair Play. Fair Play is.
He was like, do you see this little skinny thing? Of course I want to look more like Johnny Bananas because he's fitter than me. And I'm like, work then. Fair Play.
Oh, this show is so funny.
It's so funny. So they have moments where you just be like, did that just really happen?
Yeah, it did. It always did.
It always did. Another moment that was funny to me, Omarosa was like, "Oh, something smells good in this kitchen. Bobby, what you making?" Food. And he was like, "Food."
Wait, it's Tanisha, I think.
Can I have some? Bobby was like, "No."
Also, Bobby, what the fuck, man? Like, right. You need her vote. Give her your food.
Like, what you doing? If she asked for some food, you already. Oh, I was like, boy, these people. He's so playing the villain role that he's forgetting the game part. Like, you got to be a villain in a game, and he's just being the villain, not the villain in the game. And I'm like, you got to play the game. Like, yeah, you can have some food if you vote for me.
Yes,
I'll cook all you want if you vote for me. Because if I'm gone, who's gonna make all this delicious food?
And I don't think Tanisha would have taken
offense to that.
To get right. Like, I think she knew in her head voting out Bobby is best for me. And that's why she characterizes it as a head versus heart decision.
Yep.
But I think if Bobby had done a better job of campaigning to her and like accommodating her, he could have made this much harder for her and maybe convinced her, hey, my staying for you is an option for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't.
It will be remembered. If you just make it to the point, like, if you keep me, I'm going to remember that. And I will use it for your benefit later down the road. Like, if you have somebody who's having a head and heart moment, the heart is a very strong tool. Yeah. A very strong tool.
And the heart is a muscle, as Carly Rae Jepsen said.
Oh, period. and we tend to use our heart a whole lot more than sometimes we use our head, because our head is very logical, and we're like, yeah, we know this is right, but this doesn't feel right. My heart is not lit. So if he would have played on her heartstrings, and the way Tanisha is, she's very emotional. She's a very emotional being, and she goes off of emotion. She feeds off of the emotions. So I feel like if Bobby would have given her the emotions that she needed and pulled on them strings a little bit, and like you said, accommodated her throughout the day, made her feel like I'm doing this for you. I did this for you so you could be safe, and I'm thinking about you. Hey, I thought about you and your family, and how you are taking care of you. She brought it in, so it's in the
Yeah,
game
it's
now.
fair game.
It's in the game now. Because I feel like when other people bring in their family, that makes the part of it. I'm not gonna be the first one to bring in somebody's family. But if they bring in their family, now it's part of the game.
Yeah, now we can talk about it.
Now we can talk about it. So I'll be like, I'm doing this for you because I know you and your family, you and your son. I did this thinking about you. It's like, play on these emotions so you can get what you needed out the game. It's like, I don't, like I said, Bobby was so busy playing the villain that he forgot to play the game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Which I was here for a little bit. I love Bobby. I would have loved a whole season of Bobby.
Yes.
But as somebody who is rooting for Johnny and Tanisha, I was thrilled that Bobby was kind of mishandling this.
Yes. It felt right. It felt right for me. It felt right for the show. All the sound bites and all the foolishness that we get from Bobby, it just fits this show to a T. I love it. So we get to the lair of it all. We go to the villain's lair and we go for the vote. And
interestingly enough, they do let Bobby sit in his villain's chair first.
For a second.
And then they're like, all right, I gotta get up. Which I love because he does take a second to sit down. You know, he's spinning, he's throwing his outfit around. But then he's got to get up and go sit in the other chair. The one he put his own ass in.
Right. I love Bobby coming in with this big coat. He's spinning and 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 he's spinning. And he's like, ooh, I'm getting dizzy, so I'm gonna sit down. And he sits in the villain's chair and he's like, yes, I'm the super villain. They were like, okay, now you can get into the other seat.
Go in that other chair.
Okay. I was like, this is insanity. Like, what other show was giving like this show? No other show was giving like this show. It's insane.
Joel McHale makes this comment. He's like, oh, I'm thrilled I get to sit in this seat because apparently I get an extra $500 if this happens.
Because they planned for this to happen. Like a supervillain was going to put themselves on. So in case you can get an extra $500 and you get to push the button. It's like, stop it. It's so cringy and stupid and funny in the craziest way, but I love it. I loved every second of it. So Bobby goes and Shake goes. And as they ask Shake, do you have... Oh, go ahead.
Shake gives a good speech here. I think like he deserves some credit here. His speech is top tier. He makes a compelling argument. He gives them reasons to vote out Bobby. He gives them reasons to vote for him to stay. And he doesn't insult anyone for once.
Yes. For once, he didn't tell anybody to shut up. And I was like, thank you, Shake.
Shut up. I'm giving my speech.
Shut up. I'm giving my speech and I'm telling you what I'm telling you. It's like, no, we're not doing that. Just give it. But yes, he gave compelling arguments. Laid out the plan. Why you should keep me. Why you should get rid of Bobby. This is what's great. Da 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 da. Boom. And I was like, Now, if I was sitting there getting ready to vote, I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense. And then we go to Bobby's speech. And it was the complete opposite of Shake's speech. It was insult, you idiots, you morons.
If y'all get rid of me over him, you're idiots.
You're idiots.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. I mean, sure, some people might be idiots getting rid of them over him, but you don't say that. Like, if I was thinking about voting for Bobby, I'm like, you just made it harder for me.
Here's the thing. Bobby should know for a fact he's got Anfisa and Omarosa's vote.
Yep.
So his pitch needs to be pointed at Fair Play and at Tanisha. And I think you emphasize your personal connection with both. Start with Tanisha, end with Fairplay, talk about how much you've loved being his roommate, and then maybe throw in a couple game reasons. Also remind Fairplay that he's only, or that, I guess you're kind of, he's in trouble with Fairplay. But I think
He
he can
could have
play on, you
apologized.
gave me power and I screwed up and I'm really sorry. And I think that gives him a better chance. Because I do think he needs to play on everybody's emotions.
Exactly. Here. I agree with you 100%. He should have just went with maybe an apologetic tone. Maybe not even apologizing, but make the tone apologetic and be like, sometimes when you get power, it goes, you start thinking and putting your own spin on things. And that's what I did. I got paranoid in this house of this is a house, a pressure cooker in this house, and I got paranoid about things. And so I went off script, and it's, sometimes that happened, and that's not what I should have listened, followed through with what I told you. And he could have had that conversation even before the nomination, the banishment ceremony, because I think if he would have had that, he would have been able to been better. But we don't know.
They start voting, and I think this is the first time we see every vote except for this swing. Like we see Fairplay and Bananas vote Bobby out. We see Anfisa and Omarosa vote Shake out. Mm-hmm. All up to Tanisha.
Yeah, and Tanisha goes the way she needed to go.
Played with her head. We love to see it.
And she voted out Bobby, which honestly was, for me, the right choice. Like, it made sense for her to do that. And because you got people like a Bananas who is rolling with you, and then you solidified that with Shake by keeping him in the game. So now Shake is feeling like, okay, I can roll. And you got somebody who is a Fallout plan in Fairplay on your side too, because right now he thinks we rolling 4 deep and he won't come for y'all. But you do have somebody who Johnny and Shake will go before they go for you. Yep, and I think for sure. So it's like, it's always those people who can go before you. Yep. You need one person. Her shield is Fairplay right now.
So I loved this because whenever somebody puts themselves in danger when they didn't have to, I want them to go.
I want them to go as well.
If you played that bad strategically, I don't want you to get to stick around. I feel like that kind of a decision should be punished. Not punished, but like you deserve some consequences for making that bad a move. I was just really surprised because coming into the episode, the only way I thought this was a possibility was if Bobby was sitting next to Bananas, because Bananas had the social capital in the house where I could see him making this flip occur. I was really worried that Shake's really piss poor social game was going to make it so hard to flip this vote on Bobby. And I do think that like his piss poor social game is why Tanisha was in the middle rather than being firmly on side.
I'm going to give this credit all to Johnny Bananas.
Oh,
Johnny Bananas is why the shift happened, because it had nothing to do with Shake. Because like you say, Shake's piss poor social game was trash. It was trash. Nobody really cared, because as Tanisha even told Shake, if you were gone in my head, you were done.
Yeah,
like
she basically tells him at one point she's probably voting him out.
Yeah, she was like, you're done. So this was all Johnny Bananas' great politics in the house, his great social capital, and the fact that he could go to Tanisha and be like, listen, I know this is what we're trying to do, and this is the best way to do it. And I know Bobby is your friend, but Bobby will cut you the second he gets the chance. And Tanisha's like, you're right, because I know he will. He probably riding more for Omarosa than he riding for me. So I can't allow that person to stay if they're not really riding for me. And he was like, and this will solidify your bond with Shake, so y'all could realize that. He's like, but Shake is a snake. He was like, I know he is. And that's the thing about it, because Johnny knows Shake is a snake. Johnny knows that Shake is not somebody he want to keep around to the end, but he's good for right now, for the numbers.
And Shake has these, like, I think this is the correct read because early in the episode, when Shake makes his pitch to, I think it was Omarosa, it's kind of this idea like, hey, I could switch sides, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
when the vote is happening in Shake's speech, the one thing I thought he did a bad job on is he makes this comment where he goes, you know, if you're thinking about voting for the other way, there's still kind of room to come over to this side. He kind of
Mm-hmm.
frames it in that
Mm-hmm.
way. And I'm like, Shake, if you already have the numbers, you don't need to make your numbers think that you're still willing to pick up Anfisa and Omarosa.
Right.
They don't
Exactly.
need to have that idea anywhere near their head. And so I think they're right to read Shake as a snake. I don't think he's very loyal at all.
Oh,
I
not at
just
all.
don't think he's done a good enough job socially to be capable of pivoting in this game.
Agreed. Agreed. And so, but we also see Tanisha go to Shake afterwards, after Bobby is through the wall, and she like, so now you got to keep your end of the bargain. And he's like, oh, I got it. I promise. She's like, you can't come for me. He was like, I'm not coming for you. Now I don't know if I believe that, but as of right now, they didn't solidify whatever they were going to solidify. And I was like, okay, I
I think
like
it's an
Tanisha playing
open.
this game.
I think so. One, I loved that Tanisha was the one that went and let him out. Right. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like that's such an easy way to build goodwill with someone is to unstrap them from that little seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as of right now, it's 4 versus 3, basically, but
Mm-hmm.
or 4 versus 2.
Too.
And the thing is if Bananas, Tanisha, or Shake wins supervillain, we know Fair Play, Omarosa, and Enfisa are going on that block.
Exactly.
I think what gets tricky is after this round,
Mm-hmm.
who has to be the third nominee? And I think that's where Tanisha could start getting in more trouble. Because I do think, I don't know, it'll be curious to see what Shake is thinking in a couple episodes, or in, I guess, 3 episodes.
And I want to know if they're going to continue to make it 3 people. And the hit list go always be 3 people up until, because like after a while the numbers aren't going to allow 3 people
Yeah.
to be on the hit list. So I wonder if they're going to change what their format is. Look, this is brand new for all of us. We have no idea what their format is and how they're going to change it up a little bit. But I feel like a change is probably going to have to happen sooner rather than later.
We really only
So
have 2 more rounds where the current structure really even works.
right, exactly. So I'm very interested. I want to see what happens, and then we see in the preview.
The preview was good, y'all. Those 30 seconds were catnip.
I was like, oh, I can't wait till Thursday. I can't wait. Because we see the redemption challenge has something to do with a bunch of balls being
Yep.
in the house. And then I think those were leaf blowers, or I don't know what those were that they were holding. But we get Omarosa with her cast on her wrist. She's like, the medic team has advised that I don't participate in this one. And so I'm just gonna sit out and watch. I'll get a good view and watch you guys compete. I was like, okay. And then we get a confessional from the medic. He's like, I'm not even really a doctor, so I didn't tell her anything. So
So, it's so good. Omarosa continuing to try and convince people that she's being forced to do things medically when clearly nobody believes her injury at all is peak comedy. It's
oh
also really interesting because in that promo, it looks like Bananas is maybe wanting to keep Omarosa around because of
yeah.
these theatrics, and that could cause some tension. I can't wait to
Yes.
see what that looks like. It
I
also
feel
looks
like
like maybe,
Tanisha maybe won supervillain. It's looking
maybe
like
I would
I
love
would
that. Oh
love
my god,
Tanisha supervillain.
more Tanisha on the show, please.
Oh, I would love a Tanisha supervillain. That would just ooh.
It also seems like maybe Bananas and Enfisa's flirting is going to pick up a little bit and cause some paranoia. So,
Mm-hmm.
we've got this new group of 4/3, but I think even the 3 has some room to fracture. And I'm really hoping,
Absolutely.
I want it to start happening right away.
I'm here for it. I need anything to make Tanisha just safe and in a better position for me. I'm okay with. And I think the paranoia with between the Johnny and Fista flirtation situation could cause some rift with on both sides. I think it'd be interesting to see. The Johnny wanting to keep Omarosa could cause some rift on that side. It's like, why are we doing this? That's weird. That's suspicious. Like
But
it's
I
so
will say, if
interesting.
someone is sitting competitions because of a fake injury, I get wanting to keep them. You know,
But like, how long do you do that?
not
How
the
long do
instant
you
your
do
allies get upset with you, you got to stop.
the instant they were like, wait, what? No,
You're
you
like, oh,
can't be
never
like,
mind, just kidding.
never mind. It was just a suggestion, y'all. I was just playing around. I was just playing around with some ideas. Got to think of all the process, everything. It's a process. Scenarios. I got to think of all the scenarios. That wasn't the one I was landing on. No. You got to pivot and move. Like, even if that was the one you wanted to land on, the minute your allies get mad, you be like, oh no, it was just a prank. I was just throwing around ideas to see what y'all thought.
I still need my coffee.
Right, it's still early. I'm not thinking straight. Let me go. I'm gonna need to take a nap. I'm gonna sleep on it. But because the last thing you need to do is your allies to be like, I don't trust you anymore. You're like, God dang it. Now you got to work from the bottom. Try to get trust again.
And I feel like we've just gotten out of the bottom.
Exactly. But that's it, y'all. That is what we're looking forward to next week. We will be back next week. Same panel, same folks, just talking about some House of Villains because it's giving. It's Taylor, what is 4 plus 4?
8.
That's what this episode is giving. That's what this show is giving. They eat all the time. They leave no crumbs, period. I love this show. This is one of my favorite shows that's out right now that I just look forward to every single week. And we're having a blast talking about it. We hope you are as well. Stick subscribe.
You're still here.
You're still here. And we
the buttons are
appreciate
right there.
Right there. Push the button, hit the subscribe button, the follow, the share. Share with us. Share with your friends. Sharing is caring. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate you watching this podcast. Follow us on all of our social media outlets on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cup Pod because we have some funny moments and we like to share those with you. So check us out over there as well. You can follow Taylor and I on Twitter and Instagram. Taylor's Instagram is the same as Twitter, and my Instagram is right there. That's me right there. Follow
Isn't
me
yours
over
the
there.
same too?
Not well. The underscore is different. I don't have an
Okay.
underscore on Twitter, but I have that. But it's still the same. You'll find me. You put in Lady J, you'll find me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and just because. Also, get your cup merch. I took down my picture, so I don't have the picture up. But get your cup merch, the cup mug, all of our other cup associated things. Period. Get that cup mug.
$7.72. You can afford it.
Period. I mean, and if you got more expensive taste, we got more expensive things on the in there as well. So check us out over there. Get all the things, do all the things. We appreciate you watching, and we gonna get up out of here.
Week.
We'll see you next week. Cheers, y'all. Bye. Cheers. House of Villains. Ugh, I love this show.
That really is my favorite right now.
It's really my favorite right now, y'all.